Thank you, sir.
So,
Good
someone.
evening, sir.
Alim sir, good evening.
Good
Yeah,
evening,
good evening, sir.
sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, all.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening, Varsha, ma'am. So almost 23
Good evening,
participants
sir.
have joined. Good evening, ma'am.
So we wait for some more time. Other people are also joining.
I request, sir, that just for 5 minutes we can wait and then we can start
Sure.
because participants are almost 24 now. So I suggest once we cross 50, we can start immediately, sir.
50?
50, I said. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine, no problem.
After a long time, from behalf of Sahodaya, we are having this meeting. Because the last meeting I remember we have had online, and that was in 2021. So approx 4 years.
Oh,
Datta sir, thank you so much for just considering the request and conducting this meeting. After this committee being reframed and elected, I would say this is the very first meeting of Sahodaya.
So it's wonderful, such activities actually bring in a lot of unity among the principals. We get the chance to interact with each other. And most importantly, we
Very
can
true, sir.
clear our doubts.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And indeed, like everyone, like what Sahodaya ka meaning ही वो है कि all together. So all together we all can progress so well. Sharing knowledge and sharing ideas would really just give a helping hand to each other to get connected and to progress together. Because as we see, sir, other Sahodayas, they are like a bit quite inactive. So we are also on the step of being active, getting such sessions and seminars, and getting the stakeholders of education to one single platform wherein we can share ideas and exchange our ideas so effectively and can utilize in our respective schools properly.
True.
Most 29 there. Swarup sir, will that be like okay? That in between, can you just like consider the request of the participants, or would you like to make someone as host?
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat that?
So, like usually in the meeting, like when you are speaking, so will that be possible for you to accept this participants' request to join the meeting,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is it
absolutely.
automatic one, sir?
No, I will be
Yeah.
able to see people waiting, so we can admit them as they join, right? So I'll
Right,
keep
right, sir.
checking it as
Right,
well.
sir. Indeed, sir. Yeah.
So, can we start that because it's recorded anyway? The part that they will miss, they can catch up later on in the recorded version. I'll put it on my YouTube channel as well.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. I
Right.
think we should. We should.
Yeah, fine. So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
So this is a
Good
session.
evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to see all of you over here. And then we're going to talk about the two board exams. And then there's a new circular that has come out on 27/8/25. So this is a 40-page circular with a lot of annexures attached to it. So I'll try to, I've got some requests to clarify a few points over there as well. So what I'll do is I have marked a few points on this document itself that I'm carrying with me. And I'll tell what are the main things that we need to look into that circular. So, we are talking about a different circular now when this board exam was announced. That is 25/6/25. And the notification was two board examination in class 10, 2026 regarding. This is how it all started. So this is what we are following. NEP 2020. I remember when I took this session on NEP way back in 2020 on behalf of CBSE for the state of Maharashtra. This para 4.37 was highlighted in that session as well. That stipulated that to further eliminate the high stake aspect of board exams, all students will be allowed to take board exams on up to 2 occasions during any given school year, one main examination and one improvement if desired. In para 4.38, it talks about, in addition to introducing greater flexibility, students' choice, and best of 2 attempts. So you can see over here, one thing, I was getting few questions from other Sahodaya members as well, like not only from Aurangabad. I got a call a few days ago from someone in Mumbai Sahodaya and also from someone in Pune Sahodaya. And they were asking, where is it written that the two of the best attempts will be considered? In certain FAQs, it has come out like, it has to be, both will be considered together. Some average of that will be probably be awarded to the students. So here you can see NEP circular has clear, or NEP itself has mentioned very clearly, and best of the 2 attempts of assessment that primarily test core capacities must be uh, the immediate key reforms to all board exams. Boards may over the time also develop further viable models of board exams that reduce pressure and the coaching culture. Some possibilities, and they have given some possibilities, but this is something where you can find it is talking about the best of the 2 attempts being taken. Now, I'll just pause at times to check if someone is in the waiting hall. So anyway, scheme of board exam. It is mandatory for all students to appear in the first board exam. So as we are talking about the board exams, 2 board exams, the first thing that we need to keep in our mind is we have to organize a session for all the parents. That is highly advisable. The reason is CBSE has given uh, an option that students may appear in all subjects in the first attempt or at least in 3. So if anyone is not appearing at least in 3 subjects, their first attempt will not be considered and they cannot appear in the second attempt for the remaining subjects. So it's mandatory for all students to appear in the first board exam. All past and eligible students will be allowed to improve their performance in any of the 3 subjects out of science, maths, and social science and languages. Now here, there's a new addition to it. And some of our principals went to attend the session of Sanyam Bharadwaj, which was organized in Pune. I couldn't go there because on the very next day, I had to organize a session of 2 board exams for extra mile education, which is in the south. And that is the reason I couldn't be there. But I was very thankful to our city coordinator and ones who went there. They updated me whatever Sanyams are shared over there. So I'll mention those things as well. Now, 3 subjects compulsory in the first attempt. That's very important to understand. If a student has not appeared in 3 or more subjects in the first exam, then he or she will not be allowed to appear in the second exam. Such students will be replaced or placed in the essential repeat category and take the examination only next year in the main examination in the month of February next year again. So this is something that we have to understand, that we have to call the parents and tell. Now, this has 2 ways of looking at things. First way is minimum 3 exams they have to appear. And it also means that they may not appear in all the 5 or 6 or 7 subjects that the child has chosen. So they can plan their, appearance in the board exam accordingly. So someone may plan to appear in all the subjects together, and a few students, if they feel so, they may appear for 3 subjects and remaining subjects in the next attempt. So this is something very, very crucial because it is a very important planning for the students, that how they see the board exam and whether they want to appear in all the 5 subjects or 6 subjects or take 3 right now and go for the rest in the next attempt. So in the compartment, students whose result in the first examination is compartment, such students will be allowed to appear in the second exam under compartment category. So the children who are getting a compartment, as you know that in the report cards, you see on the picture, the C is very important, which denotes compartment. So based on the compartment category of the child, they can appear in the examination, that is a second attempt. Additional subjects not permitted. Additional subjects will not be permitted after passing class 10th. Students will not be allowed in standalone subject, which was earlier allowed, if you know. Like, some children might have added a new subject. So this was the circular 16/3/2021. And it was mentioned over there, as per examination bylaws, a candidate who has passed board's examination can apply for additional subjects from the list of subjects within 6 years of passing the exam. However, candidates cannot apply for an additional subject involving practical work. So students could have appeared in additional subjects within next 6 years of the passing of the board exam, which has now been stopped. And you can see that it's written over here. It will not be permitted after passing class 10th. Students will not be allowed in standalone subjects. Whether it has practical or it doesn't have practical component does not matter. So it actually overrules this circular of 16/3/2021. Internal assessment. So though the board exam will be twice, but internal assessment will be conducted only once. That's for the main exam. So you need to be ready with your internal assessment scores before, preferably January. Now, the schedule of the examination, we all know this already. It's very common now. First examination will be in mid-February and the second examination will be in the month of May. So first, phase 1, mid-Feb, phase 2, May, and optional based on eligibility. Now, there are eligibility conditions of appearing in the second exam, which we will try to understand a little later. But understand that any and everyone cannot appear in the second attempt. So first attempt is mandatory and they can appear based on their eligibility. And the second attempt also has certain eligibility conditions. So we'll talk about the eligibility criterion for the first and the second attempt. So the first attempt eligibility criterion is fresh students of class 10 or first attempt of class 10 fresh students who are placed under FS category, FS, fresh students. Then second chance compartment, essential repeat of the previous year, and improvement exam. So these are the students who can appear in the first attempt. So fresh, second chance compartment. Why second chance compartment? Because the first chance compartment was in the month of after the first chance, right? Last year. So probably in the month of July. So 3, essential repeat. So previous year candidates who couldn't clear the compartment as well, they can appear again. And finally, the improvement examination. But in the second attempt, what is happening? Improvement category up to 3 main subjects. Now, this is very, very important to understand that we can appear for improvement of 3 main subjects. And in that also, let me just share it with you that in the meeting that Sanyam sir had in Pune, he mentioned over there that out of these 3 subjects, there's a pattern, which we'll again refer to a little later. Just wait for that. I have a different slide for that as well. So, but you have to remember 3 main subjects. First and third chance compartment, compartment plus improvement, and improvement for the students passed by the replacement of subject. So these are the ones who will be appearing in the second attempt. So you can keep a note of this so that you know the eligibility of the first and second attempt. Syllabus and scheme of examination. Both the examinations will be conducted on the full syllabus meant for the year. So you have to remember, and students have to understand this very clearly, that it's not a semester pattern. So it's the full exam that they're appearing for. Now, why we need to tell this to the parents? Because this is the first time we're conducting such an examination, and parents can be easily misguided by a lot of videos that come up on YouTube. Some people make the videos without, proper knowledge. And I was watching one of these videos which was telling like it's a semester. So the term semester was used, which basically means like the syllabus has been divided, which gives a wrong conception altogether. So please ensure that you tell it to the parents very clearly. It's not like half of the syllabus is covered in term 1 and half in the second attempt. The scheme of studies and scheme of examination will remain the same and change at the end of the session. So everything that is the scheme of examination that has been declared now, when we go to the CBSE website, academic side, and we go to the syllabus curriculum, everything that is mentioned over there is going to be followed for both the exams. Now, this is again something, LOC submission for the examination. Filling up the LOC and appearing in main or first examination will be compulsory. So here, if we again have to make it very clear to the parents, because there's another chance of misunderstanding over here, because they feel now there are 2 attempts the child may skip the first attempt and appear for the second attempt, which is not true. And this myth has to be taken away from the minds of the parents, and tell them very clearly first attempt is mandatory like any earlier years, and this attempt they have to appear for, and if at least 3 subjects they have to appear for, and remaining subjects they can appear in the second attempt. LOC for the second examination will be filled in separately. However, no new names will be added to the LOC of the second exam. Why? Because LOC will be filled for the first attempt for compulsory for all students, and those who have not filled the LOC for the first attempt, they will not be eligible to fill it for the second attempt. Subject change will not be allowed from the first examination to the second exam, except as permitted as per policy. Now, there's another catch to it. Again, I'll announce this regarding the subject change, but keep in your mind right now that subject change is not allowed from first to the second attempt. Result declaration. The result of the first examination will be declared in the month of April, and result of the second examination will be declared in the month of June. Performance of main examination will be made available in the DigiLocker. This could be used for admission to class 11 if the student does not wish to appear in the second examination for improvement. Passing documents will be issued to all students after the result of second exam. So again, the result will not be coming in a physical hard copy. So after the main examination is over, it will be made available on the DigiLocker of the children. So as a school, we need to be responsible enough to make sure that the children have opened their DigiLockers. It's active. It's a very simple process to, get the DigiLocker. So before the exam starts, and in fact, I would suggest that this is the right time to tell them when you call them for a parents' meeting, which is very important. I have decided to call a parents' meeting for my school's parents as well to talk to them and clear their doubt face to face. So there we can tell them how to get a DigiLocker, how it is linked with the Aadhaar card, and show them the way so that they can have the DigiLocker active, because this is where the marks sheet of the first attempt will be displayed, based on which they can take the call whether or not to appear for the second attempt. Merit certificate will also be issued only after the second exam. So after the second exam, all the certificates will be issued in physical form. But till that time, a child can take admission in class 11, a provisional admission, by showing the score of the DigiLocker. Post-result facilities. So facilities of photocopy, verification, and re-evaluation will be available only after the declaration of result of second exam. So please note again, this is very important, that photocopy, verification, and re-evaluation, all these things that we are used to do after the first attempt, it will not be happening. It will be done only after the declaration of the results of the second exam. Why? Obviously, to cut down the manpower involved in different activities. So if we do it for the first attempt and the child improves the score in the second attempt, so the score that is improved or increased, or the mark sheet or the score verified for the first attempt does not make any sense, because it is not being considered at all. So out of the two, the best will be considered. So right now, the child can opt which attempts paper they want for verification. So they have to wait till the declaration of the results of the second exam and only then opt for all these facilities like photocopy verification and re-evaluation and all these things. Right. So I hope it is very clearly understood now. Some children, if they request the school that we want to go for evaluation, we are not getting the link. And so you have to tell them very clearly that the link will open only after the second exam, so they can wait for some time. Admission in class 11, again, students not qualified in the main examination will be allowed provisional admission in class 11, and based on the result of second exam, their admission will be confirmed. So here board is asking the other, in the institutions who are admitting the children of class 10th to class 11th, that provisional admission may be given to these children, and which can be confirmed only after the second exam is over and the results are declared. Scheme of special category. Now, this is again something that we have to understand. Sports students will be allowed to appear in second examination in the subject whose examinations have coincides with their sports event. Now, what kind of sports event? So this is not just any sport event that we are talking about. So these sports events are normally national and international level sport events, which are organized by mostly the government or well accepted organizations, private organizations, which is as good as government, but then it's not for a sports event of uh, local nature of the district or anything related to state, which is not approved by the government. Winter-bound schools, students may choose to appear either in the first exam or second exam, though it's not relevant to us, but just for your knowledge, I've put this point over here. The reason for this is, though we are telling that the first attempt is mandatory for all children, if you look at this point, winter-bound schools, students may choose to appear either in the first exam or second exam in offered subjects. So they have a relaxation for the winter-bound schools. The ones that are located in hill stations, snow covered during the month of December, Jan, Feb, and it's difficult for them to appear in the board examination. All these years they have been struggling. Now there's a possibility that they appear in the second attempt straight away, but in that case, they will appear in only one examination and they're not going to get the improvement option for them. Improvement as in this year. They can again improve in the next year. The facilities extended to CWSN candidates will be extended in second exam also. So whatever facilities we are extending to the children with special needs, these come under the Disability Act, PWD Act of 2016, and these candidates, facilities will be extended in both the exams. Few more points to remember. The examination centers will be fixed on the first examination for the first exam, and for the second exam too, the same centers shall be allotted. Now, this is again something to remember, very important. Just because you have been assigned the first exam center, it does not mean that you're going to get the second exam center as well. It all depends on the logistic arrangement of the board. But what the board is expecting is the total number of children who are going to appear in the first exam. There's a 100%, target is 100% that they will appear in the first attempt, but the second attempt will have lesser number of children appearing, mainly because of multifarious reasons. I'll talk about those reasons as well. But then you have to understand the psychology of the child, that why he or she might want to appear in the second attempt. That's very important. So I was talking with a lot of children. Talking with a lot of teachers, principals. I'll share my, ultimate what I extracted from those conversations. I'll share that with you as well after some time. But understand that second attempt, less number of children will be appearing. So some exam centers may not be allotted the second time. And children who got the exam center in the first exam, they may not get the same exam center for the second attempt. So this is something that we have to tell the children, that at times, if let's say in Aurangabad, initially they have, let's say 10 centers, but later on, if the number of children are less, they may assign only 6 centers, and some children from one center may go to another center, like compared to the first and second attempt. LOC will be completed by September end of the previous year from the year of conduct of exam. So by September end, it will be completed. So the link just came out yesterday, if you remember, and then it will be for September end. And I'm pretty sure that because it came out on 2nd of September, they can extend a little bit to October, but then it's better to be safe than sorry. We need to be prepared ourselves to submit the LOC, preferably by 20th of the month, because towards the end, the websites function really slow. It becomes difficult. And if there is something that needs to be rectified, there's no chance for that. I've seen many schools struggling to correct subjects, struggling to make certain changes, which was not possible because they were the fag end of the filling of the LOC. So examination fee will be enhanced and collected for both exams at the time of filling the LOC for the first time, which would be non-refundable if once paid. Now this has been changed. So this was in the initial circular, but Sanyam Bharadwaj sir's session mentioned it clearly. LOC will be filled twice. 7 days after the declaration of the result of LOC, after the results, LOC for the second exam will be filled. So it's not like you're filling the LOC together. We're filling it 2 different times. And the fees for the second exam to be collected separately. So right now, whatever the fee is declared, 1,600 plus 320 for this other additional subject, that will be collected for the attempt 1. So possible consequences. Now we are going to talk about what are the possible consequences of these 2 board examinations. So first possible consequences, students may treat the first exam as a trial, potentially lowering the seriousness initially. As principals, it is our basic job to make them understand, please do not take the first exam lightly. This is a mandatory attempt. 3 exams you need to appear and preferably clear so that you can use the second attempt more judiciously and rationally. So we have to tell the children to be very, very serious for the first attempt. And now talking to children, I understood that they're actually very serious about the first attempt already. But then we have to make it very clear that do not take it as a trial exam that you'll appear now and then second exam will be more seriously attempted. Pressure shift from one short high stakes to two smaller peaks of stress. Now here, one board exam was a very high stress level, but now we are shifting gradually to two smaller peaks. Why smaller peak? Because now we know that if you're attempting in all the 5 exams, the better of the two scores being considered, it gives us a chance for retake for the children, which is obviously a good thing to happen, only if they do not become very complacent with the first attempt. Next is extended academic engagement. Students may remain exam focused till June. Now, this is something that we really need to worry about. What is that? The exam starts in the month of Feb. And earlier, it was only the compartmental children or ones who want to improve. They had to prepare for the next attempt, that is the second attempt of compartmental. But right now, all the children are subjected to this, exposed to this entire scenario. What is that? The engagement will be from the month of Feb, March, April, May, June. 5 months exam will be going on, if you look at it in that way. So exam over, again preparation, again second attempt, again wait for the result. And it's going to be a good 5 to 6 months activity, which is going to take a toll on the stress level of the children, health of the children. So as principals, I always recommend this as well, that ensure that a little bit in your sessions mention about maintaining good health of the child and following a proper daily schedule, diet, exercise, all these things, so that they don't miss the chance because of their illness. Faster syllabus completion needed for February exam readiness. So schools are already speeding up the syllabus completion. I've seen many schools are targeting to finish within October or November, though it's entirely the prerogative of the school to decide. But then we have to be a little careful that we do not rush into things. In order to finish things early, concepts should not be left unclear. So if you finish the syllabus as well, it's also recommended that please go for multiple revisions, solving of multiple previous year question papers that will help the children. And result typing may affect class 11 admission and subject choice planning. So now subject choice of 11th will again get impacted, because unless the results are out of the second attempt, children will not be able to choose the subjects in class 11th. Now, what is the possible consequence of administrative nature? More work for exam centers, 2 full exam cycles in 4 months. Now, this is something that we need to worry about, because you have seen that how difficult it is for the schools to release the teachers during the evaluation process, invigilation and evaluation process. Now, here what we are doing is we are conducting it twice. So if you see, evaluation process goes on for 10 days to 12 days. So 10 to 12 days, we used to release our teachers. They used to go to a different school, or maybe they used to work with other teachers in our own schools. But here, it's not 10 days anymore. It's going to be 20 days. So 20 days, the teacher may not be in your school, or even if your school is an evaluation center, will not be available for teaching. So this is something that we need to plan very clearly, that as we are giving importance to the board exam conduction and evaluation, the other children, they should not suffer as well. The classes will start in the month of April. So here, when we are starting the classes in the month of April, 1st April is the given date as per CBSE, though many schools start their session before that, but it's not advisable. So if you're starting in the month of April, earlier the board exams were going on almost over, but right now children may come to the teachers for doubt clearing of the previous batch. So one batch, 9th to 10th, the new batch has been promoted. And now the old batch students are still not out of the school. So they're still connected with the school, right? And they may want to come back to the school to get some sessions, doubt clearance, concept clearing of certain science or mathematical concepts. So the teachers need to be available for them as well. So this is something the principals can plan well in advance. Delay in summer vacation for teachers involved in the second exam evaluation. Now, this is something where the challenge will come. Right now, it's not, the evaluation duty is still not out, but I'm pretty sure when the duties will be out, teachers may come up with a lot of excuses, which we have seen, So we need to be very, very clear about it. In fact, this circular that I was talking about, in this circular, uh, it's very clear now that evaluation will be a mandatory thing, and schools need to free the teachers for evaluation. So summer vacation will get delayed. Uh, So the teachers who are used to a summer vacation all these years will probably not get it the way it was, entire 1 month or 20 days. So there will be a sort of, internally they will complain in their minds that this is not fair. But then we cannot discuss about this anymore because the writing is already there on the wall that you have to stay back, you have to evaluate. So what I recommend is some extra time being given to these teachers so that they can also enjoy their vacation, which the principals need to take up with the management. So this is our job to talk to the management of the school. And if we are the decision makers, then we need to think it more sympathetically that how we can free these teachers after the evaluation process so that they get some off time to rejuvenate. So vacation is not only about spending holidays, it's also about attending trainings. It's also about upgrading themselves. It's also about making their plans for the next academic year. So they need time for that. And we have to, as principals or leaders, make this time available to them. Schools may have to adjust timetable and academic calendar. So again, this is something that you plan well in advance. Once the board exam starts, timetable of the new 10th and the old 10th, if you want to have some, you want to give some special facilities to the old 10th who are passing out or appearing this year, and the new 10th who will be there in the month of April in class 10th, you can have a similar timetable. So please think about it. If you're not calling them back in school, the 10th who is appearing in the board exam, then probably the second attempt that they're appearing for, school is not supporting them in some way. They can feel that. So I would suggest, let's support them. Let's give them a chance, give them a few lessons or periods where they can come and clear their doubts. At the same time, we can accommodate that in our timetable. So little advanced planning of the school timetable for next year is important. And more monitoring to ensure fairness and identical difficulty levels in both exams. So this is not for us, but it's mainly for the paper setters, that identical difficulty levels will be there for two exams, both the exams. So it's not like the first paper will be difficult and the second will be easy or something like that. So we need to set the expectations right. Now I'm going to talk about the student's perspective. So what are the positives and negatives? Positives are opportunity to improve marks without losing a year. So this is very important, that you are able to improve your score through the second attempt. Reduce psychological pressure from one shot exam. So this is again very important. We have to make the children understand that it's not like one take and go. It's always there's a retake now. So the retake gives you a little bit of advantage of releasing your stress level, provided you don't become complacent. Special relief for sports students, CWSN and winter-bound school. So this is a new addition that sports students, CWSN and winter-bound schools have been given certain privileges. But what are the challenges? Risk of complacence in the first attempt. I'll do better in the second. So first attempt, they will take it lightly, and the second attempt, they will do better. Many children might be of that mindset. Prolonged academic stress period till June, and delay in final closure of class 10 phase and celebration of results. So results will now be declared a little late because, earlier the compartment was a given number of children, which is surely going to increase this year. More children will be appearing for the second attempt as compared to compartmental exams that used to happen earlier, previous year. So here it will take some time to evaluate and then declare the results. So results will be delayed. Teacher and school calendar impact. Now, I just want to discuss about this also. When I spoke with the children, that are you going to appear in the first attempt or second attempt? What is your thought on that? I got various types of replies. So what I did is I mentally divided them in three different groups. The first group was the children who are at average level, at the class level. Second group, I brought up people or asked a few children who are above average level, and some children who are not at the class level, a little below the class level, or very far below the class level. So when I asked these children, answers that I got, I'll share that answer with you. So ones who are very slow, as per us, they need more help. I was expecting that they will try to appear uh, in both the exams, like 3 subjects they will clear in the first, a few in the second, but that was not the case. So what was the case then? The case was they have suggested or told me that, sir, we will try to attempt the first attempt itself. And in case we fail, then we go for the second attempt. The reason for that is very simple. These are the children don't love to study for a long period of time, and that is the reason their performance is slow at times. So they will not want to go for the first attempt and keep that going, and that rigor and vigor to stay for the next attempt as well. So they are probably going to attempt the first attempt and then give up. So again, uh, school has a role over here. The school can motivate the child to appear for the second time, because with this little bit of help, little bit of push, they may better their score. And if they don't better the score, they're not losing anything anyway. So we have to motivate the children that even if you don't want to go for the second attempt, these papers, go for it. You never know, your score can improve. And maybe call them to the school, give them some remedial teaching, and make them appear in the second attempt as well. So this is again a push of the school, along with the cooperation of the parents will matter. Second group, the average. The average said, we are not going to try it twice. We are going to give it the first shot. And if we clear, then no question of any second shot. What we will do is, we will straight away, prepare for the 11th and 12th competitive exams, either NEET or JEE or whatever they want to prepare for. They will start the preparation. They're telling, to better a 10th standard score, I will not spend additional 2 months. I'll rather start my competitive exam preparation well in advance. That's the second reply. And very fast and gifted children, what they said, one girl said, it depends. I said, it depends on what? She said that it depends on parents and our friends. I was surprised. How come? I can understand the parents, but how come the friends? Now she said, I have a competitor in class. And now, after appearing in the board exam, when the first attempt results are declared, even if I get 95, 96, 98, 99, whatever, but if I see my friend is appearing for the second attempt, who is a competitor of mine, I will also appear for the second attempt. So see the competitive spirit of the children. That may again lead them to appear in the second attempt. So this is again something very interesting. So you have to again talk to the children that do not be misled by peer pressure. So think rationally and properly and plan their career accordingly. The 10th standard board marks, even 3-4% variance will not affect much in their future. But if they're appearing for competitive exams, these 2 months can play a huge role. So I think as principals, we need to suggest that as well. Sometimes they're blinded by competition, which they can avoid. Teachers and school calendar impact. So summer vacation will be cut short for teachers involved in May-June exam and evaluation. So again, as I suggest, please give them some off during the June month, early June month, so that they can go and spend some time with their near and dear ones if they're staying at far off places or relatives. Possible overlap with class 11 teaching load in May, June. So in the month of June, class 11th teaching already starts, class 9th teaching and other classes already start. So it will be an overlap over here where the principals again need to plan meticulously. Need for dual revision cycles in the same year. So children are preparing revision twice, and parents may request the school to play a role over here. So school should be ready for dual revision. And if need be, normally what we do, we conduct 1, 2, 3 prelims. Now, after the prelims are over, they appear for the main exam. There's a possibility of conducting few more prelims before the second attempt, maybe at least one prelim. So that will also help the children for rehearsal to appear the second exam. And that will be now how the first prelim and the second prelim will differ. The first prelim is about all subjects. So you're conducting it for all subjects. But the second prelim, children are appearing for concentrated specific subjects with a different mindset. So this is something that we need to adjust to. A different mindset for appearing of the prelim. This time appearing, let's say, I as a student will appear only in maths. And I want, a lot of more preparation to better my score. So this is something that the principals have to monitor. that how the second prelim can be conducted, where the score, betterment of the score can be suggested and planned. So, reading between the lines, this is something that is very important. Main aim is assessment reform and gradual shift to modular or flexible exams. So, we are now talking about two board exams to start with this year, but as per NEP and NCF, if you have read NCF for school education, you will see that it also talks about multiple board exams to the extent of 8 board exams, 8 into 2, 16 papers. So this is something that we have to see. So for 10th, they are planning, right, 8 into 2, 16 papers. And for 11th and 12th, they were planning around 4 into 4, 16 papers again, which is mentioned in the NCF. Encourages a continuous learning model rather than last minute preparation. CBSE ensuring data discipline. Correct LOC and subject data is critical. So this time, again, this 40-page document has come out. 40 long page documents have come out regarding LOC. So the topic of that circular itself is submission of list of candidates LOC for class 10, first exam, and class 12 for main exam 25-26. So they have given an entire handbook or a manual to how to do the things step by step manual. And we all need to read these 40 pages properly, right? So I will also share, as I said, I have marked a few points, which I'll bring your attention to those points. But then keep this circular handy. So till the time the exams are being conducted, LOC is being filled, keep this circular handy with you on your table. Two exams will need careful counseling for parents and students to avoid misuse of flexibility. So here, what I'm telling is multiple, sessions with the parents. Please do not send circular or a letter and get rid of it. I would request each principal to please call the parents to your school, address them, and let them ask their questions, doubts. And when they ask the doubts, you will see that what type of doubts they have you never imagined. So I have been to a few schools who organized a parents meeting and wanted me to go and address them. So I've been to these schools, I've addressed the parents, and then I found a lot of doubts that were there in the mind of the parents. I never thought about those doubts. After reading the circular, these doubts didn't come to my mind at all. But then the parents had those doubts which needs to be cleared. So these are the recommendations for schools. Parent-student orientation well before LOC filling. So still we have time. If you have not done it, please do it. No, we have now 3 days holidays at a stretch. So 5th, 6th, 7th. The school probably reopens, so most of you are on 8th. So on 8th, 9th, any of these days, you can plan a parents orientation. And I have done the same thing. I'm going to plan a parents orientation on 8th or 9th. Though the YouTube video that I shot during this extra mile session, I have made that available to my parents. They can go through it first and then clear the doubts in the second session. Mock exams for both cycles to keep seriousness high. As I said, conduct mock exams for both the exams. Don't just leave them on their own after the exam one is done. That will make no use of the flexibility the board is giving. If you do not take the second attempt the way it should be taken, it's a chance lost. So please don't lose the chance. It's the vision of the principal, the preparedness of the principal, and how to motivate the entire team that will make a tangible difference in your 10 board exam scores. Clear rules on improvement attempt to avoid confusion. So how the improvement attempt is to be taken. There's a second exam to be appeared. All the eligibility conditions that has to be clearly told to the parents, and I would also recommend give it to them in writing, because whatever you tell right now, for example, whatever I'm talking right now, you will retain maybe 20 to 30% of it. Many things will go out of your brain. So that happens to the parents as well. So give it to them in writing. Maybe this recording that I'm having right now, the recording that we are doing right now, I'll put that on my YouTube channel. You can use the slide of the first attempt and second attempt eligibility criteria in your own way, design it, and send it across to the parents. Teacher workload and leave planning to be a factor in May-June duties. So May-June duties, again, the principal has to be very, very careful, because I remember when this new circular came out in the beginning of the year, that 2 board exams may happen, and they were asking for our suggestions. And most of us have given the suggestion through that Google form. Teachers were more worried about the summer vacation not being available. So we don't want their fear to become a reality. We need to assure them that they will get a good amount of break, either in the month of June or spread across the year. Maybe if you're not able to give it in the month of June, you can spread those days across a year and let them not feel like they're left out. When the entire school is enjoying the summer vacation, they should not feel left out. So conclusion, NEP vision, reduce stress, improve learning outcome, increase fairness. Success will depend on mindset shift among students, parents, and teachers. School must adapt academic planning, counseling, and resource allocation for smooth execution. So going beyond the circular, key updates of board exam. This is something interesting, which Sanyam sir said in that meeting. Mathematics, standard and basic, now interchangeable. Now, this I could not find anywhere written right now, though there's a new FAQ that is moving around. I'm not sure whether CBSE has published it, but then keep this in mind. Sanyam sir mentioned that in the session that the child who has taken basic maths may take standard maths in the attempt 2, or standard maths in attempt 1, they can take basic maths in attempt 2. So these are interchangeable, and probably this is the only subject which is interchangeable. But again, we have to wait. Before we declare this, we just have to wait. We tell the children right now, it's not interchangeable. And we will wait for this FAQ to be confirmed by Sanyam sir or the board that it's an authentic FAQ. Then we can declare that to the children. Result rules. Up to 2 subjects not cleared, it will be compartment. So if they attempt all 5 or 3 of the exams, and out of 3 they do not clear 2, they are still in compartmental. So this is something that we have to understand clearly. So compartment is, if I'm attending all 5, 6, or 7 subjects, I fail in 2 of those, it will be compartment. 3+ subjects not clear will go for essential repeat. So if the child has appeared for 7 subjects, not cleared 3, or gone for 3 subjects, not cleared 3, they will be appearing again in the next year, essential repeat. So only 2 subjects, as was the rule earlier, that if they fail in these 2 subjects, they will be going for the compartment exam. Improvement allowed in up to 3 subjects, which was mentioned in the circular. Sanyam sir made clear in that session, it will be not any 3 subject, it will be 1 language and 2 main subject. So 1 language can be English, Marathi, Hindi, any of these 1, and then 2 subjects out of science, social, and maths. So now you have to understand 3 subject improvement does not mean that I can attempt for, let's say, science, social, and maths together. So out of these 3 main, only 2 can be reattempted and 1 will be a language, right? So the science paper, and I'll talk about different papers which are showing some change. I was analyzing the papers with my school's subject teachers, because as principals, we are not experts of every subject that is there. So the best way to do is, what I have asked my teachers to do is prepare a blueprint of the sample question paper that has been uploaded on CBSE. So they have prepared a blueprint. And how the blueprint I asked them to prepare is very simple. I have asked them to prepare it as per Bloom's taxonomy and competency-based questions. Because we know right now, CBSE told very clearly, 50 to 60% of the questions will be competency-based in the board exams. Now, when we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, and I'm pretty sure the thing that I'm telling right now will help you in your preparation for this present 9th when they go to 10th as well. So I designed once a sample question paper for CBSE for a particular subject, and a blueprint is shared to the ones who frame these question papers. And in these blueprint, we have each question, what type of question it is, and what skill is being tested. We design that as well. For example, question number 1, it's a 1-mark question. Are we testing in Bloom's remembering or understanding or application or analysis or evaluation or creation? That is one thing. And second thing is, in the overall paper, what percentage is remembering, what percentage is analysis, that also needs to be very clear so that you can prepare the children accordingly. Bloom's taxonomy and competency-based questioning is the thing that is going to be there for a long, long time. That is a shift from rote learning to competency-based learning. Holistic progress cards are now coming out mainly because they are shifting from marks-driven to competency-driven learning. So in this, framing of the question paper becomes very important. So right now, I've asked my teachers to download the sample question papers, look at each question, individual question, each item, and mark it as remembering or understanding or application, analysis, all these things. And finally, see what is the total amount of remembering and understanding. So when they do that, they will ensure that the preparation is done in a proper way. And apart from that, they will also ensure that the paper pattern that is going to come, they're very, very thorough with that, and they can share that with the children. These are the sections, and these are the choices that you have, so that they are trained well in advance. So preferably started from class 6 or 7 only. So this year I've joined North Valley School as a new principal over here in the month of May. But this year what we are doing is I'm advising teachers to set board-like question papers starting from the middle school itself. So that amount of weightage to Bloom's taxonomy, short answer, very short answer, long answer. So they will get accustomed to it. So now there is a change in science paper. What is that? It's divided into physics, chemistry, and biology. So I would recommend now, when you're setting the question papers for the midterm, post-midterm, and all these things, prelims, divide it into physics, chemistry, and bio, and carry this forward to even classes like 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. Their papers also may be divided into all these divisions to make them habituated to the board exam pattern. So this is one change in the science paper. English, we didn't find much change. We can discuss in this forum as well if anyone found any change, and that can be a very good pointer for the others who are watching or going to watch this video. So English, we couldn't find much change. Science paper, it was divided into physics, chemistry, and bio. Social science, it's written map questions may be optional, but it's not like that. Its internal choices have been increased. So a lot of internal choices have been increased in the social science papers. And evaluations, for that, more centers and evaluators to be introduced. So many of the teachers who will be watching this video, please be prepared. You may be included in the evaluation if you have not been included earlier. So here is another chance to be a CBSE evaluator, and be prepared for that. Second exam likely to end by 20th of May. Schools may approve vacations thereafter at their discretion. And from 26-27, 3-level question paper may be introduced. No, this is not actually 3-level question paper. It's like, like IB or IGCSE, they have a different pattern. So these are, the question paper and the schooling is done at 3 levels. So 3 levels are there. So higher level, middle level, and lower level. So the entire schooling, in fact, the children are divided into 3 categories, and they study in a different way from each other, and they appear for different papers. So now what they're trying to do is, instead of all children appearing for one type of paper, they will make a difference. They will divide the children. It will be, a higher level paper may be set according to the higher level children, divided into some higher scheme of studies. So this will be made clear in the future. We are not worried about that right now. But then this announcement has given us an indication that any like IB papers or IGCSE, they may have 3 levels of study, 3 levels of different subject choice and difficulty level of the paper. And we can do similar things in the school as well. So with that, we come to the end of this slide presentation, but the presentation is not ended yet. I'll talk about this circular. This circular, what are the major points? I'll tell you those. So first thing is APAR ID. Very, very important. If there are schools still right now who do not have APAR ID generated for the children, please be ready with the APAR ID. Now, what is APAR ID? It is linked with your Aadhaar card. So APAR, I'm pretty sure each one of you know, because we have been working on these for some time. So automated permanent academic account registry, which is linked to your Aadhaar card. Now, why these APAR IDs are not being generated properly, I'll tell you the reason. The reason is the school admission withdrawal register carries a different name or a different spelling, and the Aadhaar card has a different name on it. So maybe the parents have updated the Aadhaar card and changed the name which was not updated in the school register, admission withdrawal register. Now there will be a mismatch between the AW register and the Aadhaar card, and the parents may request either of these things. So now it's very difficult to update the Aadhaar card. We have to be very clear. So updating Aadhaar card will require at least 15 days, if not more. So 15 days, do we have time? If we have time, they can update and give it urgently. But if they do not have time, then we have to change the our admission withdrawal register records as per the Aadhaar card. So change the admission withdrawal register in our school record. Aadhaar card name exactly as it is can be used in the APAR ID. and that will be generated. And then we can use those APAR IDs. So APAR ID is going to be a challenge because parents at times are very, very reluctant, or they do not look at messages, and they are, putting the school under stress in some way. But please, if this video is shared to any parent at all, or if you're watching, please make sure you get your APAR ID. But then one way I'm telling you again, that if you cross the last date of LOC filling, it will be a stress on the entire school, because per child, you all know the late payment, right? It's 2,000 rupees per child. Late payment will be charged. So if it's like a school of 100 children, and only because of 10 children who are late in submitting the APAR ID, or the school could not generate one, uh, it will be a big task, because 100 into 2,000 is equal to 2 lakh rupees. So that will be a late payment a school has to pay only because of 10, 5, or whatever number of children you have. And the LOC cannot be submitted twice. It will be one shot LOC. So we have to ensure that all children are thorough with their APAR ID, and this APAR ID will be generated by the school. Now, how to generate the APAR ID? I'm pretty sure your clerks or office in charges are doing it, but there are 3 ways to do it. The 2 most popular way is through this digital locker. So DigiLocker updation, uh, ABC, Academic Bank of Credits, this updation and DigiLocker, when you're doing it, a lot of videos you'll get on YouTube to how to do it. But please remember, this is mainly for colleges. The second way of doing it is by the school, which is done through UDICE. So this is what is recommended for school students, that do it through UDICE. If some parents tell that hum log bahar se karwa lenge and no, we will bring it and give it to you, please suggest that do it through UDICE to avoid any future complication. It may not end up in a complication necessarily. I'm not telling it will end up in a complication, but why take a chance? This is new for everyone. So APAR ID, the way it has been recommended, generate it through the UDICE. And here, if the child's name, let's say, could not be updated in the Aadhaar, and we are using the name exactly on the Aadhaar card by updating our admission withdrawal register, and the child still wants a different name, what are the ways? They can ask you as a principal. So what can be done later on? Right now, we're giving the name as per the Aadhaar. But what happens after that? So after that, they can get it done legally by presenting their affidavit, or a legal plea, which any lawyer can do. They have to be present in the court of law, and before a judge, it is done that this and this is one and same person. So this is something that we need to understand. And Aadhaar card is going to be linked with APAR ID. So any future updation of the APAR card is also going to reflect on the APAR. So Aadhaar updation in future will also reflect in APAR. But then what will be the challenge? The challenge will be in 10th board exam, there's a different name. And after that, they have updated the Aadhaar with a different name. So this will become challenge in case of children appearing for examinations like 11th and 12th, NEET, after that, JEE, where at a place you have to type the name or write the name or fill the form, the exact name that is there on the 10th mark sheet. So this is something that we have to understand, that if they really want to change something, 10th board exam, 12th board exam, let it be over. After that, before they go into graduation, they can change that time after they have taken admission in graduation, or they can do it in future. So just because some Kumar or Kumari is not there, some Kaur is not there, or some other way the name had been put earlier, please request and make the parents understand. Do not go for updation right now. It will end up in a mess. You will not get the updated one in hand. We will be rushing through the things after that, and because of you, the entire LOC will get delayed. So please, please, please do not do it right now. Whatever name is on Aadhaar, go with it. Go with it. If there's a correction or something that you want to do it later. Do it later after the child has passed and cleared the exams of 12th, taken admission in graduation. Then you go for it, no problem. For example, on one of my mark sheets of Calcutta University, my spelling was wrong. They have put DATTA instead of DUTTA. And then I just went to a court in Calcutta, and then they got it notarized in a way like Swarup Dutta, and with DUTT and DATT is one and same person. And till date, I haven't faced any difficulty. Even if I've done, like, say, additional masters where I've submitted these things, no difficulty was there. So parents can always get it done later on, but please advise them not to do it now. So APAR ID is very important, right? The second thing that I feel important is this year, the portal of CWSN will also be made available along with the LOC. So now here, this is another thing. The portal of the CWSN will be made available, and you need to fill up these details well in advance, right? So the next point which I would like to talk about is no affiliated school should present candidates to the board exam who are not on its roll. So CBSE is becoming very, very hard with the attendance. And trust me, many schools in New Delhi has been de-affiliated because of schools running a dummy class or dummy school. So here, please understand, if any school is taking such a risk of sponsoring candidates who are dummy or who are not attending the school regularly, please be careful that anytime CBSE can come for inspections. And Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar is not too far away from Pune as well. So regional office has been specially advised this year to go for surprise visits and inspections in schools they have doubt on. And how the doubts come, that also I'll share with you. The doubt comes with more number of direct admissions. So direct admissions, always remember, it's always good to have more children, but avoid more number of direct admissions in class 10th because that's where the doubt starts. Next, more requests for subject change. Avoid that in class 10th. That's also where the doubt starts. Why, let's say, 100 children would want to change their subject? Mainly because they were studying in some other school and their subject was different, and now they're appearing in the board exam over here and they are changing the subject, which was not available in the previous school. These are the possibilities. So please, subject change 1, 2, 5 students, understandable, but don't go for bulk changes. Yes. So you have to understand that before you fill up the LOC, the OSS, and the Health and Physical Education Portal, HPE, that has to be updated first. So don't ignore it, because it has been clearly mentioned in the circular that OSS updation, Health and Physical Education updation, then only you will be able to update this LOC. Now in OSS, again, when you're doing it, there is one more important thing that you need to remember. Number of students in per class or section. 40 are being allowed. And this year in OSS, if you go into OSS, you will see 45 is also permitted, because there was a circular long back where it was mentioned for 3 years, 45 children will be permitted. But this year, earlier years, you used to just tell it to the regional office. They used to increase the number of, Excel sheet, tabs or boxes. But this year in the OSS, there is a reason that you have to write for a student strength of more than 40, between 40 to 45. So this is something. One more thing I would recommend during OSS filling: if you've started a pre-primary school and you still find the pre-primary school in the OSS data is 000, right? Please fill it up. And if you have got some sections that is already permitted to you during your affiliation, so CBSE always, during the affiliation extension or fresh affiliation, they give number of sections permitted for the school to run. So please understand, if your class 10th had, 4 sections and your class 9th had 5 sections, please inform that well in advance, and you will be allowed to increase that section without additional fee. But then, if you're trying to increase the total number of sections as permitted by the board through that letter, you need to go for a process of section increase, which is as good as the affiliation process. So when you go for section increase process, it will be all your fire safety, water safety, then building safety, all these certificates have to be again done. You need to again submit the video of your school. It may be inspected as well. So keep this in mind, that increase of section, always do. I'm telling this not only for this year, but the next year as well in advance. And regarding the pre-primary, what I was telling is, if you want, please fill up the pre-primary number of sections 333. Why? Because CBSE is allowing 333 sections for lower KG, nursery and UKG without impacting the overall section permission. So if I had, for example, 48 sections permission or 40 section permission, so normally it will be a 48, because for 2 acres of land, it's 48 sections are permitted. So beyond this, if your land is not increased, you can still increase the number of pre-primary sections to 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. So 48 plus 9, these many sections you are going to be entitled to. If your school does not have a place to increase, the area for pre-primary, now this year CBSE has even come up with a thing that they have deviated from the previous affiliation circulars. You can have your pre-primary in a different location. So this is something that was earlier not allowed. If it's a different location, it was a new school. But right now, they are going to give this benefit. So keep this in mind, that regarding the scarcity of the land, some schools were not able to increase their sections, increase their, or do it in a separate location, but now it will be permitted. So this is something that needs to be taken note of. So if you have not filled up the pre-primary section, do it quickly, even if you do not run or you run. Next is number of students sponsored by the school should be in proportion to the number of teachers appointed by the school. It will be the responsibility of the school to relieve the teachers for evaluation in accordance with the number of candidates sponsored in each subject. In case schools will not relieve their teachers, CBSE will be liable to initiate strict action against the school, including non-declaration of their results. So again, if you have number of students that you're sponsoring for board exam, please ensure that you have those many number of teachers as well. So teacher-student ratio, as we know, is there 1:30. So please make sure that for every 30 students, you have one teacher. This is why, because many schools do not have teachers. What happens is they run dummy schools. So in dummy schools, you don't require teachers. You are running 3 sections on paper, and none of these children are coming to the school and giving their attendance. So school maintain one teacher just for namesake. That too may be a part-timer. So what happens during the evaluation duty, 100 children are sponsored by the school. Evaluation duty comes, they put dummy teachers' names over there, and these dummy teachers may be teaching in class 8th, class 7th. They're not even 10th standard teachers. And then when we give the duty to them, they come up with problems like this teacher is not well. And with deeper investigation, we found the teacher is not teaching that class at all. And that is where the board finds a lot of problem. So please ensure that this is totally taken care of, that you have those teachers whose names you're filling in the OSS. That's the reason it is said over here, update OSS, especially the teacher information, before filling the LOC. And OSS don't put dummy data at all. It will be a trouble for you. If you put someone like who teaches 7th standard or 8th standard to show them as a 10th standard teacher, or who is not a physics teacher to show as a physics teacher, it will be a problem. Next, the link of the HPE portal is available on the CBSE website. A confirmation number will be generated after the successful filling of data on the HPE portal. Schools are requested to keep the confirmation number safe for future reference. So after HPE portal submission, a confirmation number will be generated. Please make sure you note it down, take a screenshot and save it. And probably I would advise to mail to yourself so that you don't lose it. Teachers data, again, the point number 6 is only those TGTs and PGTs who are teaching class 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th respectively should be listed as TGT or PGT. So PGT, again, the concept should be very clear. PGT is not a teacher who has a MSc or MA degree. PGT is a teacher who is teaching class 12th, 11th, and 12th. And if a master's degree holder teacher is teaching class 10th, please mark them as TGT. So this is something that you need to be very clear of. So if just because I have an MSc, I do not become a PGT. I become a PGT only and only when I'm teaching 11th and 12th. So this is something, again, you need to be very clear. Some teachers or some schools, they have till class 10th and they fill it the data with PGT, which doesn't make any sense, and the teachers will be in trouble later on. Next, accordingly, in OSS, the classes taught by the teachers need to be clearly filled in by the school. The names of the teachers who have left the school shall be deleted from the data. It is the responsibility of the school to correctly update the data in the OSS. In case of TGT teaching class 9th and 10th, the subject offered by them in the graduation needs to be filled. See, this is the strictness that they're doing this time. Teacher, let's say I've seen commerce teachers teaching mathematics in class 10th. So in CBSE affiliation bylaws, it's a very clear point of eligibility of being a teacher of that subject is one of the subjects that you are teaching in class 10th has to be a subject in your graduation. So if on my graduation mark sheet, there is no English as a subject, I cannot be an English teacher. So please check the qualifications of your teachers to understand that whether you should put that teacher as a science teacher at all or not. Very many schools, because of non-availability of teachers, they do certain things like this. So please ensure that if it's a social studies teacher, one of the subject has to be from these 4 parts of social studies, history, geography, civics, and economics. So this is something very vital. Next is, it may be ensured that the full names of the teachers shall be filled in the OSS. Abbreviations should not be used. If abbreviations are given, it will be considered incorrect data provided by the school. No salutation and etc. shall be prefixed with the names. Shri, Srimati, Mr., Doctor, Professor. Please do not use these. It will be treated as a wrong data. So just plain name, not Dr. Swarup Datta, but plain Swarup Datta. That's how it is going to be. So no salutation. Then schools are advised to delete students who have moved out of the school due to transfer or other reasons. School can add students who have been admitted to the school in class 10th or 12th under the direct admission category only after obtaining due approval from the concerned regional office as per the board's rule. So direct admission rules and SOPs there. Please follow that. In fact, the last date was 2nd of September. But then I'll tell the catch is there over here. Board will approve that on 15th, before 15th. So even if you've not completed any of your direct admissions, please get in touch with the regional officer immediately. And, if need be, go to Pune and get your things done, because otherwise it will be a problem. If direct admissions are not reflecting in your LOC, it will be a big, big trouble for you. And then the parents will be really hard after your lives. So right now is the right time to check. These 3 days are there. Look for the children who have taken direct admission, approval has been there or not, and then go for it. There's another key that is there, which is in the later part of the document over here, subject change. You cannot change the subject as per your wish. For subject change, there's again an approval process and addition and alteration of subject or dropping of the subject also. In case you want to drop a subject, that also has to be sent through a mail, and that 1,000 rupee fee needs to be paid to the board. Another important point is schools shall have to complete the LOC submission process online only. The facility of data filling in downloadable Excel file is not available in the LOC submission module, as only minor corrections are allowed in LOC. So the LOC is done entirely online. Nothing is downloaded and typed in. So because 9th and 10th, when they're shifting, very minor modifications are allowed. Page number 6 of this circular is very important. I have marked quite a few number of points. While sponsoring the children, minimum and maximum age of the child has to be kept in mind to ensure the eligibility. And minimum age is, as per Maharashtra, 13 years for class 10th. And there's no maximum age limit. So ensure that most of your children are above 13 years old. School should not demand ITR or other income proof from the parents. Whatever the parents are telling, you should accept that. Skill subject. No permission is needed to add skill subject. You can add skill subject without any permission, but to be on the safer side, I always feel this, that send a mail to the skill department. You go to CBSE portal, contacts, skill education, and in fact, the contacts of all the CBSE officials, you find the names and email IDs, send a mail that we are adding this skill subject. Though the permission is not required, you can send a mail to keep that in your records. Apart from that, in accordance with the scheme of studies, the board has prescribed a list of valid, invalid combination of subjects. School should check the combination of subject before filling the subject in LOC as per Annexure H. So please check the Annexure H and Annexure K for class 12. So for 10th, it's Annexure H of this circular and Annexure K for class 12. Do not choose subjects that does not fall in the scheme of studies. And choosing of the subject is very, very important. 17 number point is also important. Details of the student should not be submitted only. Details of the student should be submitted only in one lot for each fee slab. Partial submission of data will not be allowed. In a fee slab, meaning thereby, each slot, only one list of the student will be accepted. So each fee slab that we have, only one list will be, one list will be permitted. You cannot do it multiple times. Regional office. So this is again important. From the year 2021 onwards, the practice has been done away with. What practice? In earlier years, schools were required to send the signed copy of the finalized data of LOC, which we are not doing anymore. The link for submission of online form of private and second chance compartment candidates will be made available separately. So anyone appearing for the second chance, it will be made available separately. No subject change. I told it already. Once it is done, it will not be allowed. Precautions to be taken by the school while filling LOC. The spelling of the name of the student, mother, father, guardian is correct, and it is as per the admission and withdrawal register maintained by the school. So this is very important. That's the reason I was telling, please maintain the admission and withdrawal register records as per the Aadhaar card. Because if your APAR ID name, which is linked to the Aadhaar, is not the same as that you have in your school records, it will be a problem. Second, the date of birth is correct. and is as per the admission and withdrawal register maintained by the school. So again, check, date of birth in every document of the child. If modification is needed, do it from the school side. And subject combinations are correct as per the scheme of studies. Now, subject combination and selecting the subject in the LOC, very, very vital. I'll tell you a very sad story. One of the principals that I know personally was terminated from her service, mainly because a wrong data was chosen while filling up the LOC, and the entire school had to pay a huge amount of fine. And this principal trusted on the clerk, and the clerk did a mistake which costed the principal her job. So remember, though we are using clerks to fill up the data, we are responsible for the data as well. So please do not leave everything to the clerks or CBSE coordinator or whoever you are using in your school. Please make sure you personally verify it. You never know where there will be a mistake and it will be costing you dearly. So LOC is something for which a principal is sitting on the chair. So principal is not just an administrator or an academician. This data, fairness of the data and accuracy of the data is very important, and that is one of our prime jobs. So make sure you personally check each and every subject combination, it's as per the scheme of studies or not. Especially for children with disability, dyslexia, they are offered different subject combinations. So be very careful about these subject combinations. Apart from that, in this circular, two more points are there. In case school has submitted the LOC within the scheduled date and has paid the fee, and is also observed by the school that some data has been wrongly submitted, in such case, the school can correct the data within the last date. If on revising the data, any additional fees required, the same will also be paid by the school online. So it gives you to correct the data even after you have paid the fee. So this is something that you need to remember, that there is an option that is given for correction. Generation of data verification slip. This is very important again. After the last date, data verification slip will be generated by the school for each candidate. In case of data, that is candidate's mother, father, guardian name, date of birth, or subject offered is found wrong by the school candidates, CBSE allow the same to be corrected from 13th October to 27th October. Once this process and period is over, in bold it is written, no correction will be allowed by the board. So remember, one window is coming, but do not depend on that. Again, I'm telling, ensure clarity and accuracy of data in the first time itself. But remember these dates, 13th October to 27th October. Mark that in your mobile calendars so that you remember the dates. Fine. And this circular ends over there. After that, a lot of annexures are there. The school fee and all these things have been declared. Visually impaired children are exempted from the examination fee, that we need to keep in mind. Every subject of practical exam will have 160 per practical subject. That's additional fee. And challan, this is again important. Point number B of the circular, fee payment method. While making the payment through NEFT, RTGS over the counter, the school should ensure that their bank branches take the utmost precaution in entering the challan number, challan date, and challan amount. Any discrepancy in the above will lead to the automatic rejection of payment, and the amount will be reverted back to the school's bank account, and school will be responsible for the same. So if you're paying it through NEFT, RTGS, please ensure the bank clerks, again, double check challan number, challan date, and challan amount is properly mentioned over there or not. Once the payment is made, school are advised to regularly check the bank account for any kind of unsuccessful payments or rejections. So some schools feel that the data has gone through, done, payment done, but it is not the case. Payment got stuck somewhere and they realize it later on. That time, the last date is already over. So keep this in mind, that keep checking your bank account whether that has been debited or not. So in case of the bank related transaction or non-updating of fees of the CBSE server, the school should contact the respective bank through which payment was made. So please understand, do not contact CBSE for that. CBSE is telling contact your bank. So contact details of the banks are given on the CBSE website generally. Bank shall be requiring the following information to resolve the issue of non-updating of fees. Hence, be kept ready before getting in touch with the bank. So what are the things of the payment you need to keep ready before getting in touch with the bank? First is mode of payment. Second is fee reference number. Third is amount deposited. Fourth is date of deposit. Fifth is branch where the amount was deposited. Sixth is bank reference number. And the seventh is your contact number. So all these things have to be kept ready. So that's all. Caution again is there. School shall ensure that the LOC data is finalized in time. Fees should be deposited strictly as per the schedule. Any delay in finalization of LOC data, depositing the fee shall attract late fee payment. So I don't think another very important part I've marked. Candidates who appeared in the previous year and above been declared as compartment can reappear in the examination for the concerned subject as private candidate. Such candidates can also appear as regular candidates through school, but all the subjects in which they had appeared in the previous year. Candidates who are studying in the school as a regular student to pass examination shall have to complete their attendance required. They shall appear in practical, project, and internal assessment also. So essential repeated candidate, this is the caution. So these are almost the major points that I shortlisted. Other annexures, step-by-step explanation of how to fill up the LOC is there. And one more thing, I think someone requested me, regarding this digital signature. So regarding the digital signature, I'll do something. I'll put a video. So let me just go and share a video with you that you can watch later. I'm not going to take up any further of your time. So yeah, I'll just copy this. I'll copy this link and I'll paste it in the chat box. In fact, I'll not paste it in the chat box. It will be lost. What I'll do is, since everyone is from the same Sahodaya, I'll put in the Sahodaya group. So here it's a... Yeah, so in the Sahodaya group, I'll put it. So what it will tell you is step-by-step process to create your digital signature. You did not take help of any agency. Digital signature of those agencies do not work. So it will work. The thing, it's a 7-minute video. Please watch that 7-minute video. I'm putting over here as well. And I'll be putting that in the Sahodaya group as well. So this is the video link I've shared with you. It's on my YouTube. And you can watch. It's a 7-minute video, how to create a digital signature. It's simple step. Anyone, you don't even need the help of a computer teacher. You can do it yourself. The only thing is right click your computer properties and check you're using either the this Microsoft version of Pro, Professional and Enterprise. This is the only requirement. Rest is easy step by step. Go through the video and I'm pretty sure you can create your digital signature, put it on your desktop and use it. And if someone else is doing the job for you, do it on that computer. So only thing is you need to have your user account on that computer. So like when you log in, there are user accounts. So don't use a computer where you don't have a user account and you are not the admin. Preferably use for digital signature an account or a user account which has your admin rights. So that's pretty much it. And any other doubts, you can definitely put it in the chat box and we can answer it. There are a lot of trainers over here. Rana sir is a trainer, Ganesh sir is a trainer, and many other principals over here are trainers by themselves. And I'm pretty sure they can add a lot of value in the discussion that is happening in the WhatsApp group of Sahodaya. Let's make this group very active in terms of a lot of doubts coming up. In fact, how I have learned a lot of things only because of the questions that I get. So during lockdown, if you remember, a lot of principals started calling me. My YouTube channel was started. And all these information I gathered, I didn't know about all these things from the very beginning. Though I was related to CBSE in some way, but then it increased during this lockdown period when I started getting problems from the entire country. People from Dubai, people from Qatar started calling me up with problems. For example, APAR ID. In the last session I organized, there's a question regarding APAR ID. How do schools in Dubai do it? They don't have APAR ID over there. So then I told them in that session itself that it will not be required probably. And after that, CBSE came up with a circular that it's not required. So any such discussion, we can put it in the group. Any observation of change in the pattern of the question comes up, that has to be put in the group. And remember one thing, I was talking about this before I end, I'd like to share that Bloom's taxonomy, competency-based question, how is it linked? So competency-based question is nothing but higher order application and analysis of Bloom's taxonomy. Whenever there's analysis and application, that is competency. Remembering, understanding is lower order thinking skill. Lower order application is not competency. It's just application. Higher order application and analysis is competency, along with, of course, evaluation and creation. And if in a question paper, while making those blueprints, if you find that a question you feel it's remembering also, understanding also, application also, it's always the top one that you take. Because to get to the higher order, the lower orders are automatically included. It's nothing new. If there's a creativity question, it always includes evaluation and analysis and such things. So highest order of the question has to be taken and help the children, teachers to understand how to frame question papers. And with Bloom's taxonomy, blueprints, and all these things, if we require, I had once taken a session for the Podar group. Uh, they have this Podar Innovation Center, and Podar Innovation Center was headed by Rini Bijlani ma'am at that time. So she requested me in Podar Pawai to take a session on how to frame a question paper because their innovation center prepares the question paper for all the Podar group of schools. So I went there, took a session, and if we get time, I would love to take that session for our Aurangabad Sahodaya as well. That will teach each one of us how to frame blueprints of question paper, along with the way that I have done myself, my experience of framing this sample question paper. That will also be helpful. So let's go for it. I'm pretty sure that now a lot of active interaction will happen in the group, and we'll shift to a mindset where we go into a very, very creative and interactive mindset. Our problems become problems of everyone. We help each other. That's what the Sahodaya is meant for. So thank you. And I also, Ganesh sir requested me to announce that on 17th of September, we have this physical session. So the physical session will be about, I call it two ways. Initially, I send it to CBSE's Academic Administration for Top Management, and I also call it Management Program for Excellence in Education. So this is a program about how we can be better principals, what the principal's job role is, how the conflict management can be done, how is team building done. So that session we are planning to take. And I'll also touch a little bit about computational thinking because that was the initial plan that we had in the meeting. But then I felt that computational thinking can be taken for the teachers in one of the Sahodaya sessions where teachers are included. So I would love to take that session for the teachers because they will be able to relate better because we normally do not teach like teachers do. Maybe you are taking 7 to 8 classes in a week, but then that will be better for the teachers. This one will be better for the principals. So 17th, it's like, welcome to everyone at North Valley School. There's a program in the morning where we are trying to break this Guinness Book of World Record Aurangabad holds right now. 2012, they created the world record of highest number of students singing the national anthem together. It was 12,242. We snatched that record from Pakistan. And now, after 2012, we are trying to break that in the TV Center ground. I think everyone knows this. And children will be going there. So, but I just asked Ganesh, will that impact any principal attending this session? He told that there will be no problem. Principals can still come and attend the session from 10. So 10 to around 1:30, we will conclude that, followed by lunch. And Ganesh sir will take care of the logistics. We are working out a menu. And I'm pretty sure that that day will be a very entertaining day. We're not talking about a very serious topic, but our basic responsibilities that we need to understand and to become better leaders. So thank you, everyone. And if you have any question that I can answer, my knowledge permits, I'll definitely answer. Otherwise, you can put it in the group as well, or we can end the session. So Ganesh sir, if you want to address something, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, a big thanks to you for such an insightful and informative session. You just threw a limelight on so many essential aspects like two exams from the year 2025-26, LOC, and many other important essential aspects related to LOC as well as CBSE procedures. Thank you so much, sir, from the core of my heart. I felt very happy since your session was going on. I'm checking that total number of participants, the highest was 57. So we crossed 50 participants this time. Let's hope to have 100 cross in the further future sessions. Since your sessions was really, really very informative, sir. Very, very doubt clearing, I would say. And ultimately, as sir has already announced, all the stakeholders or the leaders kindly pay attention once again as on 17th of September, this will be a certified session that Aurangabad Sahodaya has arranged. The certificates will be given to all the leaders after this session, 3 hour session be completed, because as you have seen that Sahodaya also can conduct a number of sessions and certifications can be done. So certifications will be given to all the present leaders on the same day. Since it was a holiday, so it was, excuse me, it was a holiday. So ultimately, we the holiday and see would be present. And sir, I think the session, that event, making Tiranga at TV Center would get over by 10, because in the early morning we are supposed to be present over there. As this, I think this activity had been done in 2022 also on Garkeda Stadium. So approx by 9:30, 10, we could finish up the entire event. So let's hope for that. And the teacher escorts would be there. So principals can come and attend this meeting. The meeting arranged by Sahodaya at North Valley. So instructions will be shared in the groups. All principals, irrespective of not being or being members of Sahodaya, are cordially invited for this offline session on 17th of September. Any doubts or queries, I request all the principals or teachers, even teachers also present over here, to kindly just type your doubts and drop up through your principals in Sahodaya group or other 2 groups that are running for Aurangabad CBSE schools.
And Ganesh, sir,
Thank
one
you
more
so
thing.
much. Yes, sir.
No, before we go, I would request all the participants to come on the screen once so that we can have a screenshot and record of this meeting.
Indeed.
Can be preserved for the Sahodaya. So that will be
Yes, sir.
listed in the
Yes, sir.
Sahodaya things. So Ganesh, sir, you
Indeed,
can
sir.
take the screenshot from your end as well, so that we don't.
Yeah,
So all the
beforehand I had
officers.
taken so many actually.
Oh, so I want
But
the people
this,
now to come on the
yes,
screen.
sir.
Yeah,
Right.
wonderful.
I request everyone to be like, open up your videos so we can take the photograph.
So
We can
once,
take the screenshots of the same.
yeah, once everyone or most of you are on screen, we will take the screenshot. So as I see on the first page, many of them are there, and let me see the second page. Second page is a
That's
little
great.
less, but then let's take a screenshot. Okay, fine. So
Yes, sir.
screen, and I'll take the screenshot over here.
And sir, I request you request to kindly share the YouTube link of this session. So I got some messages in between the session that due to some unavoidable reason, they couldn't attend this online session. So for those, all the stakeholders, we can share the YouTube link so they can be benefited of this session.
Sure. What I'll do is, so I have just recorded it on the cloud right now. So I have to
Sir,
download it from the cloud. So I'll upload it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. So
absolutely
once
fine,
it's
sir.
done, I will share that in the group.
Right. We have core committee members, the Vice President Sulekha ma'am over here. I'm checking whether Kiran ma'am is there. I could see Sohail sir also being present. A great heartfelt thanks to all of you for being here and taking all this cumulative initiative for having this session happen. Sulekha ma'am, Sohail sir, Kiran ma'am, thank you so much. And of course, I had shared my big thanks to Swarup sir already.
Thanks. Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
so much, sir. It was indeed a very enlightening session. Lot of efforts and you have taken, and there was absolute clarity. You have given us a lot of practical insight into what is to be done as a principal, how we need to, guide our students into the processes and enlighten our parents with all the information that you gave. Excellent session. It was a value addition to all that we already have heard at Bharadwaj sir's session. I think more clarity today we got from your session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, should we end the session then? Bye-bye,
Sir,
everyone.
yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
So I'll end the session.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Good
you, sir.
night, all
Thank
of
you so
you.
much. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
sir.
everyone.
Good night, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thanks a
so much,
lot for
sir.
the great information, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Really, it was great session, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.